welcome to the Fast and the Curious, the YouTube show on Alien Happy Hour, where we talk about all the Fast and the Furious films.
Including the short ones.
Including the short ones. That's what we've gone through, and we're caught up with everything all the way through that fateful movie. And now we're watching the shorts. And, I don't know which one's coming out first, but we have watched this turbocharged prelude to Too Fast, Too Furious.
I don't know why you're acting that there's not an order to these things. Turbocharged prelude to Too Fast, Too Furious takes place several movies before this one. You gotta put them out in order. So turbocharged goes first, and then this one. Because this is, I think, takes place before the fourth one. I believe this takes place before Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as expectations, all I know is that it's going to involve Dominic Toretto. I'm pretty positive he's in it. And it's going to involve the two side characters that I don't like.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know their names. I never learned them. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I do know
right?
who you're talking about, yes.
Yeah. They're there for Fast and Furious. I think they might be in Fast 5. And then they kind of went away for a while and maybe came back for one of those movies. But they're not my favorite characters, so I never...
Okay.
Yeah. But I think maybe I'll like them after this, because maybe this is going to get into like their backstory or something. So, but I think this is mostly like introducing them and maybe showing what Dom's been up to. Because keep in mind, before Fast and Furious, the only thing we'd seen of him since the first movie was his cameo at the end of Tokyo Drift. So basically,
oh, that's right, because he's not in Too Fast.
Nope.
Yeah, it's only Paul Walker and Tyrese.
Yeah. So, first movie ends, Brian lets him escape. Then he shows up in Japan, but which actually we later learn that's like way later down the line. Because of the fucked up timeline in these movies.
Yeah, I forget about that all the time, too.
Yep. Yeah. But so basically, I guess this is going to be... Okay, this is actually the same setup as the Paul Walker one. Basically what it is what Dom has been doing between the first movie and the next time we see him. It's just much later for
all
Dom.
Alright, so I think Dom's going to go to a diner and he's going to see some sheriffs and he's going to go, whoa!
He's going to do the newspaper flip because he's...
he's
a professional, yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested in this because, as we've seen already from just like getting it set up here to watch, first of all, it's 20 minutes long versus the six something that our prelude to Too Fast is. But this is even like opening up with like the whole like the whole universal fanfare and all that. And, like, this actually, like, already feels like it wasn't made in, like, Paul Walker's basement.
It's made near his above-ground pool, but they did have Universal's blessing. No, it does seem like it's going to be much more of, like, a legitimate production. So, yeah.
Unlike this show.
Yeah.
But anyway. So, yeah, I mean, I guess... So, this takes place... after Tokyo Drift, then?
Not technically, because Tokyo Drift actually is after, like, the... Or no, yeah, this takes place... sixth one, but before the coda of 6.
This is before... Okay.
Yeah. Because there's there's, like, the credit scene of 6 that... God, my brain hurts. I feel like I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Tokyo Drift is, like, technically, like, way further down the line than the other movies.
What if... for Fast 9.
Yeah.
Since they're already like, sorry if you're trying to avoid trailers and stuff here, you can jump forward like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But since they're already like teasing that Han's back.
Yeah.
For Fast 9.
Yeah.
What if Fast 9 takes place in the past?
God, Justin Lin did promise it will make sense. I promise. And so that'd be really funny if the explanation was it's just another prequel. I would die if, like, everyone's like, Han's alive! And it just turns out it's, like, taking place before whatever. It's like, fuck, he's still dead! Like...
Palpatine is back.
The dead drive. Somehow Han has returned. That joke's been made a million times. Anyway, I'm a hack. So.
Okay. Well, let's watch Los Bandoleros here, and we'll be right back to talk about it. All right, so we've just now finished watching Los Bandoleros. This definitely felt more like a Fast and Furious thing.
It did. This was great, honestly. I like this a lot. I thought it was really good.
Kind of a fun little like, yeah. I like this, yeah.
It has a lot going for it.
If you're gonna give me like an interlude to a Fast and Furious movie,
yeah,
like, this is the prelude I want to Fast and Furious.
There's, I mean, like the easiest thing is like there's a lot of like great fan service, like just like. So I had no idea that Han was in it. I literally gasped when I saw Han was in it. I got really excited, and then like even though I knew Dom was gonna be in it, and at this point we've seen Dom for like 10 movies, and like I thought I was kind of over the like, nah, it's the character, we see him all the time. I love him, but like I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm not over it because when they showed the car and you see like a body that you can't see the face of under it, and you hear like a variation on Dom's theme play, I was like, oh my god, that's Dom. Like I got really excited again.
A young spry Vin Diesel.
Yeah, and then and Letty showing up was cool and unexpected too. First of all, those characters, the side characters are great in this.
Yeah.
They're cool. Why didn't they keep like any of that in the movies? Like you don't get to see a ton, but like so like Santo's like this like family dude who's like looking out for like his family and his like community in the midst of like all this political strife, and then meanwhile like Leo's like in prison like educating everybody else about how fucked up the situation is. This movie's like basically like an informative little like piece on like like political stuff and how it affects people in like other countries and whatever. Like they're literally like Leo's basically talking to the camera. It's like the world sucks. Like here's like it's like big business like ruins this for everybody else. It keeps people in prison and doesn't give them the resources they need or whatever. It's like this is like the kind of thing that would like get like Academy Award love if it wasn't a Fast and the Furious thing made by Vin Diesel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's this, and like one of my favorite things about it is that in addition to that kind of like subject matter, it's also like so Fast and the Furious is like known for like using places like that as like a backdrop, right? It's like and now we're have to steal a car in Brazil and like look it's Brazil and like and you see like the beautiful shots of like the landscape and maybe see a little bit of like people milling around, but this is like a true actual like picture of like this is what it's like for the people on the ground that just actually live here and are just like driving cars through it really fast.
Yeah.
And like it feels like it was made with a lot of love for like the Dominican Republic, and like like the cast is almost all like like not white people and stuff, and like it felt like it was done like a real care for like the place and the people involved, and that was really cool to see. It feels like it was like they were doing justice to the locale in a way that the other movies can't do because they have action movie responsibilities. You know what I mean? I also love that like as a little like in between short film, we got to see interactions between the characters that would get cut out of like a normal movie. So like even just like Han showing up to this thing where Dom called him and like complaining about like not having a hotel and air conditioning and stuff and like having a meal or whatever. Like those things like kind of happened in the movies, but it had a different feel to it. Like it felt like we were watching the characters like behind the scenes a little bit more, and that was really cool. And we also got the little like crumb of like we learned a little bit more about Han and Dom's like backstory, like how they met. Like Han's like, I heard about him in the racing scene, but like didn't run into him until Mexico, and then we started running together. And he calls me when something fun's going down, or whatever. Like that was kind of nice to have. And I really think one of the best parts about this is that if this was released ahead of 4, it was really smart because this sells the Dom and Letty relationship extremely well. Mm-hmm. Like it's showing them like in like a way we've never seen before, and it's showing them like the way they act with each other during their like downtime. Like that thing where like he's driving and he's not telling her what she wants to know, so she like straddles him in the car and she's like, we're gonna crash, what's gonna happen, you can't see, whatever. Like that feels like exactly what those characters would do between movies when the cameras aren't rolling.
Yeah.
Like didn't that just feel so true to like them as people and as like a couple? And then seeing them like go on that little vacation and stuff. Like when the movie that follows this, like Fast and Furious, the whole crux of it is like Letty dying. This does a really good job of like selling that relationship as like being like what it is.
So this one was released as a bonus on the Blu-ray and special edition home releases of Fast and Furious.
Okay, so it doesn't come out beforehand, but still, it enhances that.
It says that. Well, it says it was released on July 28th, 2009. And well, I want to let me click on Fast and Furious. I want to see which Fast and Furious came out in March.
Okay.
Or April. So yeah.
So it is after the fact, but
so yeah, it's kind of like a weird little prelude thing that came out after. But funny enough, Paul Walker and Jordana Brewster both appear on the poster for this movie.
Oh.
You know, they're not in
Not
it
in
at all.
it, yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was really interesting. It's kind of what it really made me think about. That I don't know why I never really clicked with me before.
Yeah.
But the first like 4 of these movies, none of them are really like. I mean, like after the fact, they kind of like retcon related them to each other, but like.
Yeah.
Or not even retcon, but like they kind of tie them in together, like with like Dom showing up at the end of Tokyo Drift and stuff like that. But like, it's like the first one is like, you know, kind of a more serious movie about street racing and stuff like that. The second one's just an all-out fucking action movie, over the top, ridiculous, with like only one of the original characters coming back for it. That's like a recipe for disaster. If someone was like, hey, we're making a sequel to, I don't know, name any like action movie that just came out, although all of them are sequels now, but you know, if someone was like, we're gonna do a sequel and only one person from the original cast is gonna come back, like, oh, all right. But then so they do that, and then they do Tokyo Drift that has nobody, not counting Dom at the very end. And then they like kind of get the whole gang back together for the 4th one, and then from there on out, it's kind of like it's just a who's who of movie stars walking in and out of those movies. But yeah, it's very strange how these movies played out at the beginning.
It's a really unique franchise. It almost makes you wonder what it would have been like if they had continued. I'm glad we have what we have now, but it makes you think about if they had continued to make it a thing where like they were only very like small, like minutely related, and it was just like, here's some other racer in some part of the world, and like, oh, it turns out like he crossed paths with Brian at one point, but otherwise they're like separate. It's interesting to think about for sure.
Do you think this also kind of tying it in, since Han is in this?
Yes.
Do you think that Sean is going to come back in Fast 9?
I want him to. I might be the only Sean stan. I told you when we did the episode for A Furious 7 that like my wish list forever was for him to come back and get involved with the rest of the group, because of the fact that like in his movie he's by himself on an island, and like so it was really cool to get that one scene where he was like back in the mix, but still like
Japan.
I never.
That's nice.
No, I didn't even mean to do that, but yeah, you're right. But like I never got my dreams. Like I wanted him to like be part of the gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so like that, I would personally love it if they did that. There's no way they will, because I think they're the only one that cares about that character. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. Yeah. Vin Diesel did a good job with this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it definitely does still, like the last one, feel... The budget is, like, visible.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell it's, like, you know...
But, I mean... So, for this being, like, a thing where it was, like... I mean, it's written and directed by Vin Diesel. It's obviously a thing Vin Diesel wanted to do.
Yes, yeah.
This, like, I don't know, like, yeah, like we were saying earlier, this, like, actually kind of still feels like it belongs with the Fast and Furious stuff.
It does, yeah. Down to like the music and like and the character stuff is really well done. Vin Diesel, like I just really like process that like he wrote that. He gets these characters.
Yeah,
he really gets these characters.
Well, yeah. Actually, to that point, then too, him writing this, and we were talking about how like a lot of these characters work better than they do in Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
like says something to his understanding of what this franchise is supposed to be.
Yeah, it really bums me out now that Leo and Santo are like. Just kind of like third tier comic relief characters in other movies, and like a brand of comic relief that isn't my thing, because I really am interested in them here. And like, and maybe it would have worked better if I had seen that and then watched the rest of their appearances, because then I still like know who they are besides just like we're the kind of jokey characters that don't really get any good jokes, because like Roman's like the goofball, but like they give him like pretty good material, and there's the stuff from like Chief Exterior, so like Roman like can be hit or miss sometimes, but for the most part, he's a likable character. Personally speaking, I don't think that the comedic relief that they give to those two ever really works that well for me, and they don't get anything else outside of this, so it's kind of a bummer that those characters, like, don't really get to go anywhere good, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to have to rewatch Fast and Furious.
No, that's the thing about both these. Maybe you want to go, okay, now I want to see 2 Fast and Furious to, like, remember that one. And, like, I want to watch Fast and Furious again to see, like, how that plays out. Because that's
Fast and Curious 2.
Yeah, just watch the movies again. That'd be really funny, actually. I'm glad you said that, because it brings me to the next thing I wanted to say, which is, like, the one downside to this being a short that is tied into another movie is that the things that it sets up, it doesn't actually get the payoff of inside of itself. Like you see
Oh,
them,
sure, yeah.
you see them. They're putting into motion some plan with this politician, and like Letty and Dom and all that. They're all gonna like get in on this, and like I kind of forgot that what we're watching isn't a whole thing because we don't get to see what that is, and I don't remember if like that's where like the fourth one opens or whatever. But yeah, that's like the one downside to it being what it is that like a short film that wasn't tied into a franchise would be like self-contained, whereas this one has like threads coming in from the beginning that you already know these characters, and then it kind of like threads out where they don't need to show you what happens with this deal they have arranged with this politician because that's presumably in the next movie, but I don't really remember it. So
Well, we need to put a pin in Fast and Curious here.
Yeah.
We don't get to pay off what we just talked about.
I think we were done.
Well, it's time to do movie club now.
Yeah.
So it's just, we
Yeah,
get to
thing
watch
with
more
movies.
stuff and talk about it.
Yeah.
We like kind of got to warm up here a little bit for
Right.
movie club.
Now we get to watch Jojo Rabbit, written and directed by Vin Diesel.
Yes. Oh.
That'd be dope, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I kind of want to. Is there like more stuff that like has Vin Diesel like written?
He should do more stuff after watching this. This is good. I think this is
I
a good short
does
film.
he like have a history of writing? That's what I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, whatever. Maybe that short that we saw earlier when we were looking
maybe
through
that was
YouTube.
his. It might be. What was it called? Multifacial.
Yeah.
Which like, don't Google that.
Yeah.
That's not safe.
That's not what you should look up.
I feel like the only like thing that I was like not that was like kind of bumped into a little bit in this was like just the line where I'd forgotten that Letty's like half of her character at first was like skanks, but it was interesting. I'd forgotten that part of Dom's character in their relationship was that he is kind of like he'll sneak around with other women until Letty shows up. I'd kind of forgotten that was part of his whole like dynamic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He did write Multifacial.
Okay, we should watch that. Put it for movie club.
Yeah, I'll just do it for Fast and Curious.
Yeah. Tie it in.
There was also a movie called Strays.
Okay.
And then The Ropes. He wrote it's a TV show.
Oh.
He wrote 2 episodes of it.
I want to watch Vin Diesel's like filmography now.
And then apparently he's also those are all the things that he has directed.
Mm-hmm.
But he also apparently has a movie coming out called Hannibal the Conqueror.
Oh, nice. Oh, I think I heard about that forever ago.
It's in development.
Yeah. I think he's been working on that for a really long time.
Yeah, well, all right, so there you go.
Yeah, that man doesn't get enough credit, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we talk about in all the Fast and Curious things, is that it's because like people like to joke about this movie series.
Yeah.
And it brings some of the jokes upon itself.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not that there is a lack of actual good stuff going on in this,
Yeah.
and acting like Vin Diesel stuff too. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's a talented guy.
Yeah, the shrine helps.
Yeah.
All actors should just make shrines of their characters, and then they'd be as good as him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you for watching Fast and Curious, and like I said, if you're new to all this whole thing, we have a whole series where we've watched all the movies. We're working our way through them, and we'll be getting ready for Fast 9 as that comes out here this summer.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Be working our way towards it, and then part 1 and part 2 and part 3 of Fast 10.
Can we really quick? We gotta go, but like, can we put out our theory about how? Because Justin Lin promised that Han coming back will make sense. We realized just now that it could just be another prequel. They could just put it back further in the timeline so everyone gets excited that Han is alive and actually he's still dead, and that's the reason it makes sense that he's there.
Yep.
That would be.
Let's hope.
A very funny misdirection, but yeah.
All right, well, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. YouTube people stay. And we'll see you next time on Fast and the Curious.